They sealed his fate before he could speak. Aaron's boots gripped the glass as the floor turned translucent and the stars below burned like patient eyes. Around him, a halo of cradles floated empty, humming, waiting. The chorus of the unborn gathered as light, as dust, as soft breaths that weren't yet real. Their voices braided the air, 1,000 almost lives testing the weight of his soul. "Captain Aaron Vale," said the herald, a faceless veil of silver. "You stand accused of subtracting futures. Verdict pending." His throat tightened. He had ordered Cargo Deck 7 vented to stop the reactor flare. He saved 900 breathing souls. He lost 300 incubation canisters, the seed nursery, and broke the first. Accord, never take from tomorrow what today can endure. He knew the rule. He broke it anyway. The chorus hummed through him, threads of thought brushing his skin like cold rain. He saw fragments, hands he'd never hold, names he'd never speak, faces that might have grown inside those glass moons if he'd chosen differently. The guilt pressed like gravity, a tiny voice slipped past the storm. Will he make room? Every sound stilled. The herald tilted. The question is received. Aaron blinked. Make room? For what? His ribs felt narrow, his mind crowded by regret and heat map ghosts. He kept his gaze locked on that faint voice, searching for the source among the glittering cradles. Speak your defense. The herald said, Aaron's words dragged up like anchors. The flare was spiking. The coolant lines were bone dry. I did the math. I swear I bought time for the living. 900 are here because of my choice. 300 are not, 1,000 whispers. Sang, they were probabilities, someone hissed. They were promises, another answered. Images. Flashed his navigator Leo coughing in smoke. Children clinging to ducts, the reactor core drawing breath like a wounded animal. He felt the heat again, skin prickling. He felt the countdown all over. The smallest voice came again, closer this time, bright as a pinprick. He can still make room. Aaron swallowed. What does that even mean? The herald rippled, and the starfield twisted. A second chamber unfolded, a grown, greener place under glass skies. A memory? No, a projection. He stood in a long hall filled with stone tablets, each carved with the ship's vows. Leo had brought him here once, back when they were cadets sneaking past curfew to trace the old words. The herald quoted them now. When breath is short, hearts widen. When metal is scarce, flesh volunteers. The covenant of carrying, also called the forbidden's gift? His stomach went cold. The covenant had been more rumor than rule. Men and women who chose to host backup embryos inside their own bodies, letting engineered tissues take root, carrying future lives at a cost, pain, risk, and the surrender of neural space. The program had been shelved generations ago. Too dangerous, they'd said. Too personal, too political, too? Messy. You mean implant me, Aaron said. Make room inside. Room is more than bone, the herald murmured. Leo had once laughed about the old stories. They'll never ask you that, she teased, batting his sleeve. You're built for engines, not lullabies. He looked for her now, out among the watching crew beyond the chamber's shell. Her face hovered behind the glass, pale, jaw tight, eyes begging him not to crack. He was their captain. He was their anchor. He was the man who had pulled the lever. Midway test, the herald announced. Will the defendant accept the covenant and host 10 seeds? Aaron's heart stumbled. 10. He could almost feel space inside him shrinking, breath turning thin. If he cannot, the chorus said in low, tide-like voice, we will redirect verdict, remove command and memory. Leave him clean of weight. They could cut his captain's circuit. Carve the storms out of his head. He'd become a body with no burden, safe, empty. He lifted his chin. Tell me the risk. The silver veil flickered. Each seed asks for a part of you, time, energy, attention, neural mapping, physical pain. You will sleep by measure and wake in ache. Some may fail. Some may scar you forever. You will not die, unless... The herald paused. Unless what? His voice cracked. Unless one of them chooses to keep what you give, said the smallest voice, soft as a fingertip. "Unless one of us needs more room than you planned." Heat rushed to his face. He imagined little lights burrowing, nested against his heart, stealing edges of himself to survive. Terror rose, but alongside it, something like respect. The unborn were not coins to balance. They were storms waiting for Sky. He looked at Leo. She shook her head barely. Terror in the set of her mouth. The ship needed him focused. Untouched by slow sorrow, by the pull of a tiny heartbeat. "Time," the herald said, "ARI," and closed his eyes. He remembered the reactor rod screaming. He remembered the bodies he didn't count. He remembered a promise he made at his promotion. "I will leave the ship more alive than I found it." "I'll do it," he whispered. Then he said it louder. "I'll make room." Gasps rippled through the gallery. Some were relief, some outrage. The chorus swelled, chords unfolding like dawn. "Acceptance logged," the herald intoned. "Prepare the graft." Panels slid aside. A table rose from the floor, covered in white film. Tools gleamed, small and deliberate. Aaron took a step and froze. The smallest voice spoke a third time, and it came from right behind his sternum. He staggered. "What?" A drop of light detached from the huddle above and cooled against his chest. Hurt pulsed through him, sharp and honest. His breath went ragged. The light steadied, little as a tear. It wasn't on his skin. It was in him. "Hello," the voice said, and for the first time he knew who it belonged to. Not a stranger. Not a probability. It sounded like Leo when she was tired and kind. It sounded like the laugh he never had. It sounded like a child he and Leo had not yet decided to have. "Who are you?" He whispered. "I am one of your missing," it said. "I am one you threw away to save the day. I am your never born, returning by your hand. If you make room, I live. If you flinch, I fade." The chamber tilted. The twist cut him open. He hadn't just destroyed strangers. He had erased the chance he never knew he'd wanted. The nursery he vented had carried his own gene thread, Leo's donation under alias protocol filed and forgotten until the vents opened and the heat took it. The ship had matched them months ago for resilience and diversity. He had saved 900 and he had killed his would-be child. "Aaron," Leo whispered through the glass. Her palm pressed to the barrier. He saw the headline in her eyes. "You knew now?" The herald's voice thinned. "Implantation commences on consent plus silence. Final query. Will you make room, knowing what it will cost you, knowing who asks?" His hands trembled. The light warmed his ribs. Outside, crew murmured. Inside, the future waited. He set his jaw. "Begin." The ship's lights died, alarms choked, then nothing. The stars went dark like someone closed the universe. In the second before true blackness, Aaron saw movement in the gallery shapes in command blue pulling Leo back. A shadow cutting cables near the cradle ports. A gloved hand lifting a tool too sharp for healing. Sabotage. The chorus inhaled as one. The herald's veil shattered into sparks, and the smallest voice inside him tightened its hold and whispered, frantic, "If you want me, run. Crave the next turn in Aaron's trial. Follow now so you don't miss part 2.